It's well known, but I have to ask the question. The first record that you got was from Spice Girls.
Yes.
But who gave it to you?
It was my parents.
Yeah?
I remember just before my birthday, we had went to the local shopping mall where the Spice Girls album was like, you could buy it, and I was like, oh, I want that, and and so they got it for me.
But why did you want the album?
Because I think I actually don't remember. It was just like there was this, people were talking about it at school, like, oh, Spice Girls, and I didn't know about it before I got the album. I was just like, okay, because I think it was the girls from the class above my class, they were like, oh, Spice Girls, and so me and my friends in my class, we were like, oh, what is this? And so, yeah, I guess we all just got it, like around the same time.
Do you still like the music?
I like it for what it did to me back then. I like it for what it gave to me back then. Yeah, I like them for that. But I don't like the music like that anymore, no. But I think they were actually some pretty okay role models for little girls at that time, because they were preaching about girl power and about how you shouldn't be let down by a guy, but you should just stick to your friends and blah, 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 all that stuff. I think that's much better than like, there's a lot of other big singers who like preach about, it's all about boys and sex and blah, blah, blah. Like, that wasn't what that was about at that time. At least that was not how we felt it. We were like, yeah, girl power, and that was cool, so.
Okay.
I like them for that.
But you also recorded the song by the Spice Girls?
Yeah, I did a cover of the Say You'll Be There.
And why?
Well, because, actually in the beginning it was like kind of a joke. We were like, haha, no, we can't do that. But then it was like, okay, it could be kind of funny to take one of those, like very poppy, old school Spice Girls songs and make them into a more dark, indie, moo version, Yeah. And so also because, again, I kind of also wanted to honor make the song in the honor of the Spice Girls, because they were the ones who actually like really made me want to be a musician, and they were the reason why I started making music and discovered that was a good way for me to express my feelings,
If you compare yourself before you listened to the Spice Girls and afterwards, what changed within the little you?
Well, the thing is, because, I was such a little girl, and at that time your personality isn't that, evolved. But, before listening to the Spice Girls, I didn't have a dream or a vision for my life like that. I was more like, like so many others. Like, of course you don't necessarily have a dream or know what you want to do at that time. But I remember that, like, listening to the Spice Girls and, being the Spice Girls fans, I really just, got this vision and this big passion that I wanted to be a musician like the Spice Girls were like. So
what is the main drive you have with creating your own music? What?
Well, back then it was, it was kind of irrational. It was just, I want to be like the Spice Girls. But I learned through making music, because I don't come from my parents are not musicians or anything, so I just had to kind of start from scratch. And I learned in that process that making music was, as I said, my way of expressing myself and letting out the steam. And so, it became my way of gaining self-esteem, actually, because that became my way of expressing how I felt. And I felt that I was not good at it, but I felt that I had something to say. So it became something that I was addicted to,
What was the first song you wrote? How old were you?
Yeah, I guess I was 7, 8 or something like that. It was a song called, and it was actually in English, because I wanted to be like the Spice Girls, so it had to be in English. And it was called Because I Love You. I think it was like just a pop song, in very, very bad English.
What was the first song you actually were proud of, that you still like to do, like to perform?
Oh, okay. No, that's hard to say, because, I started making music when I was these 7, 8 years old, and I've played in so many different bands ever since. And there's a lot of the songs that I kind of like still. I've made a lot of songs during all these years, but it's I don't know. I think the first song I was like totally proud of was the song called Maiden. But that also has something to do, because that was when I started working with Ronnie Veendale, my producer, and it was like he could translate my lyrics and my melodies into this beautiful music universe, like with the instruments and all that stuff he created around that. So, so it was a combination of that too, where I like really felt proud, you know. But it's hard to say.
Last question about Spice Girls, the song that you did. What did you? Sometimes people say, well, sometimes songs really sound really easy or cheesy, but once you try to play it yourself, then it has some sort of hidden gems or hidden difficulties. Was there something in this song from the Spice Girls that you said, well, it was pretty awkward, pretty nice to see that they could do this?
Well, I mean, I think that the thing that for me was the most exciting thing about doing this song was that you could translate it into your, like, you put it into your own universe and still do that without it losing anything, you know. And I think it was funny, like, for instance, with the chorus, the "I'm giving you everything," to make that into, like, because I made a harmony, like, for the lead, and made that one into the lead vocal, which is more melancholic and more aggressive. And I thought that opened up something new. I don't know how to say. That was like, I mean, I think that was, you know, there was some darkness hidden in the song somewhere that you just had to find and get through.
So they even had some darkness too?
Yeah, I think so.
That's good. Well, you mentioned Maiden, the first song that you did with Ronnie. Did you have Maiden already, well, in how it sounds now, or did he, what did he bring to the song?
Well, I mean, before he got the vocals, it was an a cappella song, you know, just with my choirs and me singing on top of it, you know. And then, I mean, yeah, well, and you know, there was no instruments on it before he got it, so it was like very much just that very melancholic vibe and these vocals and this whole thing. It had very like a lot of darkness, like, I guess, you know, it's hard to say when there's no instruments. You can't talk about genres really. I mean, of course you can, but not really, you know. It's hard to define, at least. But Ronnie, he came with the hip hop, and not the hip hop, but like some street and some bass and some darkness like pumping underneath it, but also like the uplifting guitar hook and these like kind of like almost oriental sounding things, you know. And like, yeah, he's a great producer, so of course, you know, he has this depth in his production, which I really think fitted the song very well.
But the thing is, what I would like to know is, now you have this sound, you have some sort of electropop sound. What did he bring? What was yours? And how did it all blend together? Was it? Were you? Yeah,
but it's so hard to say, because we both, like, when we make songs together, we both just really follow what we feel is right, you know. And we both have this hip hop and punk, like, kind of this need for some edge and some balls, you know. But still, also we like of course, a good song and the catchiness and a good song, the nice melodies and the pop, you know. But it just have to have some balls, you know.